Okay. I've been so excited at seeing you all again, all together, and thank you so much for coming. And I can honestly say that God has given me the most beautiful family of all. I love you so much, and thank you for all that you've done for me. I have great sons-in-laws and daughter-in-law, all who have contributed so much to me and made my family grow. I thank God too for my wonderful grandchildren, their spouses, their children, my great-grandchildren. You're all great. I want to make up a bit for what I seem to have been a bit negligent in, so I must fulfill my duty now. I've tried in the past to sow God's seed in you all, by taking you to church, etc., and by helping you to know that there is a wonderful God out there. But I hope it's not too late. It's up to you now. I ask you to read his word, to get to really know him and love him, and it's the only way. I was sent this little book by a very good friend of mine in Rhodesia, Crow Dixon, when Dick first had his stroke, 53 years ago now. I have ordered it ever since and have read it every day. Remember, I have loved God ever since I was 6 years old, when I was sent to boarding school to England from India, and my parents still in India, 84 years ago. I'm now going to read this one reading, out of this book, which was only about a week or two ago, from Selwyn Hughes, Every Day with Jesus. Let me see where it was. No. The emphasis of this, the 6th Psalm in the Songs of Ascents, is firmly around security that is ours when we belong to the Lord. Living for God is not like crossing a chasm on a tightrope, wondering if any moment we might fall, implies the psalmist, but sitting secure in a fortress. He draws again on the tradition of Jerusalem's impregnability to illustrate his point. The city of Jerusalem is surrounded by protective hills, and because of this has always been regarded as the most secure city. Just so is the follower of Jesus surrounded on their journey with the power, presence and security of God and his family. Though all this sounds wonderful, is it possible to be so sure of God that we cannot be shaken? In my time as a Christian, I have gone through several serious crises, but can I say I have never been shaken? Honesty compels me to admit that the answer is no, but it is possible not to be shaken. I believe it is, and I think that as I get older and more experienced in the Christian life, I'm learning how. When we experience major problems, the first thing that is affected is our feelings. Our feelings are important. They keep us aware of what is happening. However, they tell us next to nothing about God, who he is and his ways. They just tell us that something needs attention. In moments when my feelings are being stirred, I try to remember that my security comes from knowing who God is, not how I feel. Spiritual maturity comes from living by what I know about God and by what I feel about him. Not by what I feel about him or about myself and my circumstances. Living this way doesn't stop me from feeling stirred, but it does stop me from being shaken. Now, I'll go back to here. Oh yes, the one little thing that comes from this is, which I absolutely love, is, as the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people. That's in Psalm 125. And then I trust you would all read Hebrews 12, 22 to 29. That I think you can do in your own time. I tell you these things because my love for you all is great. And I want to see you all again in heaven. One more, all your precious little ones now. It's up to you to teach them these ways, the ways of God. They are a reward from Him, a heritage from the Lord. Almighty God, I thank Almighty God, thank you that I know you can do all things, that you can relieve all the troubles of my life. I only have to pray earnestly to you. To help me through life, I think my favourite verse has always been, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And He has done. Every time I feel a bit weak or unable to do something properly, or maybe a bit hesitant about it, I always say that to myself. And it's always worked. And that is in Philippians 4:13. I want you to all order this little book and just read it all through your life. Now, I've had it all these 53 years or so. I want you to have it too. It is such a beautiful guide to the Bible, which is essential in your lives. That's it. God bless you all.